What if I told you the best way to learn grammar wasn't sitting still at a desk, but actually jumping around the room? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down the amazing story of a student who did just that, and how a super simple game completely unlocked a new way of learning for him. It all really starts with a question that probably sounds familiar. I mean, we've all known kids, heck, maybe it was one of us, who are just so bright and creative, but for some reason, they just don't click with the way things are taught in a typical classroom. So, what's really going on there? Well, a lot of the time, the answer has nothing to do with ability. It's all about the approach. It's about understanding that there isn't just one single way to learn, which brings us to this really fascinating idea called the kinesthetic style. So, at the very heart of this story is the kinesthetic learner. And to put it simply, these are the folks who learn best by doing. They need to physically connect with information through action, through movement, through direct experience for it to really truly stick in their brains. And this slide really lays out the difference, doesn't it? On one hand, you've got the traditional method. It's often passive, you listen to a lecture, you read something, you fill out a worksheet, it's abstract. But the kinesthetic method, that's all active. It turns an idea into a real experience with games, activities, and a physical connection. Okay, so let's see how this actually played out in a real-world case study. I want you to meet Arjun. He's a first grader, and he was up against a very specific and very common grammar challenge. So here's the lowdown on Arjun. He's in grade 1, and an assessment showed that his main learning style is kinesthetic, with auditory coming in as a strong second. His mom had noticed he was having a tough time with English grammar, which, let's be honest, can be a hurdle for any kid. And this specific hurdle? Oh, it was one of the most common but trickiest verbs in the entire English language, the verb to be. Getting that conjugation right, I am, you are, she is, it's so fundamental, but it was tripping him up over and over again. And this is where things get really cool. Instead of just handing him another worksheet, his tutor decided to turn the whole classroom into a game. The idea was to transform this abstract grammar lesson into a physical activity he could actually get into. So you have to picture this. Arjun walks in, probably expecting the same old boring lecture-style class, but what he saw instead was something totally different. There were these circles drawn all over the floor. The solution was this brilliant little invention called the verb jumping game. The rules were super simple. First, the tutor would hold up a flashcard with a pronoun, like we. Second, Arjun had to say the full phrase out loud, we are. And third, this is the kinesthetic magic right here. He had to physically jump into the circle on the floor marked with the right verb. Every correct jump got him a point. It was simple, active, and you know what? It was fun. And to really amp up the excitement and make it feel like a real game, they set a clear goal, scored 25 points in just 2 minutes. That combination of the ticking clock, the physical jumping, and shouting out the answers, it created the absolute perfect storm for his kinesthetic and auditory learning styles. So he totally mastered the game, which was awesome. But the real breakthrough, that true aha moment, that actually came later. This is where we get to see how movement literally becomes memory. See, the real proof that this worked wasn't what happened during the game itself. It was what happened later, back in his regular school classroom. When his teacher handed out a totally standard verb worksheet, something had just fundamentally clicked inside his brain. But honestly, the best explanation comes from Arjun himself. After he just aced that worksheet, he said, "I could clearly remember where I jumped. This helped me get all correct answers today." That's the key right there. The physical memory of jumping into the R circle became the mental key that unlocked the whole grammar rule for him. Incredible. So Arjun's story is so much more than just a clever teaching trick. It's this really powerful case study that shines a huge spotlight on the incredible importance of personalized learning. So what are the big takeaways here? First, it's clear that active physical learning forges really powerful memory links. Second, when you tailor your teaching method to a student's style, you're not just teaching them a subject, you're building their confidence. And that small success can inspire them everywhere else. And finally, gamification is such a powerful tool. It can turn a really tough topic into a fun challenge that kids actually want to do. And this really brings us back to that big idea we started with. Arjun's story isn't just about one kid and one verb. It's a powerful reminder for all of us to ask ourselves, How can we look beyond that one-size-fits-all model and find new ways to unlock the incredible potential inside every single type of learner?